I think she runs both way. I think she's totally bisexual. She will go wherever the love is.
Vivian, oh my God, I'm so excited to chat with you today. I had so much fun with this movie.
Oh, good. Yay. I love to hear that.
Yes, and I love Sarah. I love her so much. I'm so glad she was included in this story for a lot of reasons, but one of the main ones is I feel like when you're telling a story about family, specifically like queer family, it felt really meaningful to see chosen family included.
Yes.
Did that resonate for you? Tell me about that.
Totally. I mean, for me in my life as well, I feel like your chosen family are just as pivotal and, essential as your family. And my friends are so meaningful to me. I have such good friends. And so Sarah is literally the friend that everyone needs, and that I have. Parts of me are her, but I also have more boundaries. But we all need a Sarah in our life.
That's so, I was actually curious if there was somebody in particular that you based her off of. So part of it is you, but is there anybody else that you pulled into the influences?
Well, I did think a lot of my mom because she has no boundaries and she says the most harshest things in the name of like, if I don't tell you, who will? And that kind of mentality of like coming from a loving place but being highly critical. And it's also like my internal critical voice that I channeled a lot. And I mean, I just understand Sarah like viscerally, just feeling so slighted for not being part of the family when she knows that she belongs and she's going to make a space for herself at the table, or in this case, a house that's haunted by a 400-year-old demon.
I love that. I mean, I will tell you, like, I was definitely building my own head canon about Sarah because I feel like, on one hand, I knew her immediately because I do feel like she is someone who exists in like my queer space. Like, I recognize her right away, but we don't get to know her that well. I'm curious when you were creating this character or like formulating it in your mind, did you create head canon around her? Is she queer? Is she an ally? Who is Sarah in your mind?
I think she runs both way. I think she's totally bisexual. She will go wherever the love is. She just loves to be adored. So whoever is going to adore her, she will go. I think what I kind of gravitate like held on to most is that she's so want like cares for these two, and they are definitely her family. This is who she spends holidays with. It's like not even said, it's like her go-to place. And for her not to be included in such a like monumental moment where they're meeting the parents, it's like she has to be there. I think it's something that I really relate to because I hate feeling, even if you say no, you want to be invited. And I
Yes.
think like life, you want to be invited. I'm going to say no, but I want to be invited. And so I think that kind of slight and where that kind of um, derives from and the motivator that makes her so fearless, that cover because she's so sensitive actually, and so she has to be harsh and feel that she owns the space because she feels like maybe she doesn't belong in that space. So she has to be
Hmm.
extra, is something that I know very well, from life. And
I maybe that's it. Maybe the problem is I just relate to her too
yeah, no, I
much.
relate to her so much. And I
I
do, I
love it.
do have friends just like her where you're like, you hate them and you love them at the same time, but you
I
need them.
I love that. Okay, so I know we're getting close to the end of our time, so I want to end on kind of a fun question. Obviously, this is a film about the supernatural, right? I'm curious where you land on that. Do you believe in ghosts or the supernatural? Have you ever had an experience
So
in
I
with the
never, I
supernatural?
mean, I'm a spiritual person in that there's some higher realm and power, whether
Yeah.
it be nature or universe, but I was never open for kind of like other entities or, it's like, yeah, sure, they'll exist, but let them stay in their place and let me be in mine. So I never like subscribed. And I swear to you, after working on this movie, I think we conjured some spirits because I did have some experience with it. And now I'm a total believer without a doubt that there are some energies and whether it be a ring of purple lights or fog or mystics. I mean, they are there. I mean, when I actually checked into the place I stayed while making this movie, the
Yeah.
attendant was like, "You're very lucky because this part of the wing is not haunted." And I'm like, Oh my God, this is just their everyday, this like small town of Concord. Yeah,
I heard there
definitely
was
there are ghosts.
that there was a séance that took place
Yes.
during. Were you
And I think
present for
that's
the
where it
séance?
got conjured. I think that's where yeah, because literally the attendant at the inn that we were in told me my wing was not haunted. And then he said, I think you guys conjured something because now it is. It is. So I saged that room.
Did you? Oh my God, that's amazing. You said that you had some sort of experiences. Was there like can you tell me any of the things that made you kind of become a believer?
Oh yeah, I mean, like my room was fogged and a ring of purple lights. And
Oh, so that happened.
no, that
What?
happened to me. And literally the next morning, one of the Teamsters picked me up and I was like, so have you ever had paranormal activities or visits? Or he's like, oh yeah, one time saw a purple ring of lights. And I was like, ah,
Oh my
what
goodness.
is this? So I don't know, the cast had their explanation. So, but I think either that or the directors and producers were totally doing method set.
Amazing. Well, if that was the case, then I have to give them props because that is some production value.